Welcome to Yoga for Musicians. I'm Yoga Lena or Lena Skomedal, and I'm a professional horn player, but also a yoga teacher and a coach for musicians. Today, it's the hips maestoso. So why do we need to work with the hips when we're musicians? Well, thing is that most musicians sit a lot, and especially now, maybe when we're at home office and just practicing at home. What happens then is that you get short in the front side, and we don't use the glutes. This is the glutes, these really big muscles here. They get weak when we sit. And the thing is that the glutes are involved when we do all kind of things with the legs. The glutes are always involved. So we need strong glutes, because if you have weak glutes, then some other muscles will take over. It can cause knee problems, but especially for musicians, then it's all connected. If you work hard here, it's connected all the way back up till the opposite shoulder. So sometimes shoulder problems actually can come from like a really tight hip or weak hip. Many musicians also come to me with problems in the lower back. And mostly that's because you have weak glutes and then the back take the load and you take it out in your back instead of actually using your muscles. And also when we're with instruments standing, it's maybe not super balanced always. And I see so many also with the instrument case hanging on one hip. And this is like, if you do this for many, many years, it's not really good for the hip, and you also get weak hair and unbalanced and things like that. So what we're going to be doing today, we're going to do a quite active flow, and we're going to get more mobility, hopefully, around the hips. So yes, we're going to stretch, but if you just stretch, you just get like sloppy long muscles, and that's nice to create space, but you need to strengthen as well. So we will also get contact with the hip muscles, and it's also very good if you like to run or go by bike. This will also be extra good for you. So let's start, and we start super easy with a shavasana. So just lie down all the way on your floor or on your mat. So first in yoga, we always need to ground, to check in with the body, check in with the breath. So just notice, where are your breath now? Is it deep down? Then you're probably relaxed and grounded already. Or if it's high up, you maybe need to take a deeper breath. And now put both hands on somewhere at your hips. And then just imagine that you're inhaling all the way down to your hips, and see if you can be really relaxed and heavy down with the hips so it can really rest. And send your breath all the way down to your hip. In yoga, we close the mouth and inhale and exhale through the nose, unless I tell you to do something else. And I will guide the breathing quite a lot, but if you're a beginner and you feel that, oh, now she said in and I did out, and you're gonna be fine, just breathe. If you're holding your breath, you're gone too far. So let's start with a little bit of mobility. Next, inhale, bring your right knee towards you, and you can hug your knee. If you can't reach it, if you're stiff, then you can just grab somewhere at the leg. See if you can roll your shoulders a little bit down into your back, and take a couple of breaths here, just hugging your knee towards you. And of course, put the attention in your hip. Maybe move a little bit around. Then let go with your hands, and then just do a couple of circles in one direction. So it's the hip joint now moving. So see if you can keep your lower back flat into the mat, so you're not taking out the movement in your lower back. Then turn, so you circle the other way. And yes, it's gonna be more action soon. And you're gonna wish that we stayed here longer. And from that, just stop again. And then stretch out the leg. And that might look different on your body than my body. I've been stretching quite a lot on the back side, but it doesn't matter how it looks in yoga. It's an experience. So just focus on yourself and be curious about how your body reacts and how it feels. Just a couple of times. Stretch up the leg and bend it down. And now see if you can grab with your right hand, grab the outside of your right foot. If not, you can just hold around your knee somewhere. So this pose, then you want your knee towards your armpit. It's not possible for most people, but just imagine that. See if you can relax your left leg down and just create a bit of space around your right hip. So send your breath there and relax your face, your jaw. And this pose is called half happy baby. It sounds kind of weird, but that's the name of this pose if you were curious about that. Now bend your left leg, put your foot down in the ground, quite close to your butt, and then use your right leg to put on top. And here you want to leave the shin bone on the top of your left knee. And then just turn your knee out, the right one. It's maybe hard to understand, but just have a look if you don't understand. And then bring your left leg towards you. So lift it off, maybe interlace your fingers behind your leg and hug it towards you. Really flex your right foot here to protect your right knee. And now you probably feel a nice stretch in the glute or the back side of the right hip. A couple of breaths here. Try to find some ease. Then stretch out your left leg. Let go of your hands, put them just back into the mat, and then lower down your left leg. Slowly, slowly, all the way down. Then it's just a little hello to the core muscles, the deep core muscles. Land it down, and then also the right leg. And now it's fun to put the legs together, because then you can feel that, at least for me, it feels like my right leg is longer than my left now. It's just because we have created some space in the hip. So let's do the left side as well. Hug your left knee in. Pull your shoulders back, find a relaxed position. So in all these yoga positions, try to use as less muscles as possible. Just go with your breath. See if you can lengthen your inhale, lengthen your exhale. Then start to do your circles on the left side. So let go of the foot and really focus on your hip joint. See if you can make small or bigger circles without taking out the movement in your lower back. So keep your lower back in the mat. Do the other direction. A couple of circles here. So just to create some awareness and wake up the muscles around the hip. Okay, so stop it there. And then you stretch your leg towards the ceiling, bend it again, and do it 2 more times. So stretch, maybe point the foot if you want, or flex it. Just do different types and notice what is most interesting for you. Then grab the outside of the left foot with the left hand, or find some other solution that works for you. And even if we're trying to move the knee down, the foot, the leg a little bit out, it's all about the hip again. So notice the difference maybe from the right to the left hip. We all have like a dominant side of the body that we are probably stronger, but sometimes also less flexible on the stronger side. So maybe it's more movement on the other side. One more breath here. Then bend your right leg, place it in the mat. Left leg goes on top of your right knee, the shin bone here. Then knee out. And see if you want to bring your right leg closer to you, maybe interlace your fingers behind. And this side was much more stiff for me. So now I need to breathe, and it's a bit uncomfortable, but I'm trying to find or be comfortable in the uncomfortable. And then I'm just breathing to the area where I feel it the most. Then the brain will send more blood there. And it will probably feel better. And then stretch out your right leg. Let go of your hands. Lower the leg slowly, 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 all the way down to the mat. Put the left leg down, and now put both legs together and feel that they feel a bit more equal. So wow, that was a first little good morning to the hips. Now both knees in, hug yourself. A little bit from side to side, massage the back a little bit. And if you do have a mat, then you can go with me now and start to roll a bit. So you're rolling on your back. If it feels not good for your back, then of course, skip it, do something else. Everything I do is just suggestions. And then see if you can take a little bit more speed, maybe up to a low squat or a malasana. It's a bit of technique to get there and some core muscles and practice as well. But you can just roll if you're fine with that. Then get up to your malasana. Put your hands in the mat, spread out your fingers, and come to all four. And just sit back. I have some notes today because this is a new version of this workshop, so I have to have a little look. So what we're going to be doing now is, I'm just going to show it first. You're going to start on all four, and then you take your hand to the opposite side of the mat, and it's like a diagonal. And you're going back with your hips, then up into a big circle. And then you're going to do that again. So go with me, spread out your fingers, hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips, and use a blanket if you need something more under your knees. Right hand to the left side of the mat. On your exhale, drag it all the way down, and then make a big, big circle. Now you move your hips forward again, stretch, and here you see how far you want to go over. And with your own pace now. So inhale all the way up, over, exhale all the way down and with your mat. So here we're waking up the hips a little bit, and we're starting to get a little bit load on the wrists. And I know that many of you are afraid of your wrists, your musician wrists, but it's good when we do it just like a little bit, just to wake it up. So this is very gentle, and then we go back, and then it's no load. Okay, come back to neutral. Then left arm to right side of the mat. So just mindful, big circles with your breath. Exhale all the way, traveling on your mat. Inhale all the way up. And then you see that you get your shoulder just over your hand. So you get this few seconds of a bit of a load to wake up the hand, the wrist. And when we do it this slow and mindful, then it's no way you can endanger yourself unless it's like broken. Then of course, do something else. Wait for the recording of this class. Okay, come back to all four and then sit back and watch. We're gonna do a thing with the hip now. I'm gonna show you first. So we're gonna go here to all four, but now you're gonna just watch. I'm showing with the right now. What I do is I just lift it off and try to squeeze it towards my hamstring. And then without moving my lower back, I will lift it up. It's so easy here to just like, drop down, but no, keep this and then lift up. So now my glutes are working. I'm gonna turn it out. Then it's so easy to just like tip your pelvis over, but keep it really firm, like frozen. Then you bring your knee back here and then we're gonna do it one more time. So back to all four. And of course, if it's too much for your hands, go up on your fists instead. So all four, bring your right foot in like you want to kick yourself, and then lock your lower back, use your core muscles a little bit here, and then let your glutes work. So lift up without any movement in the lower back, then turn your hip. So now we're in the full motion here. So move your knee out and then to the front, and we're doing it slowly. And are you breathing? So that's the advanced one, if you're breathing at the same time. So try to relax your face, just push the mat away from you, then it's easier with the hands. And one more time, turn the hips. So now we're working to find the whole range of the joint, and of course wake up the muscles. Then sit back, do a swipe. Inhale, close your arms, close your body. Exhale, down. One more time. Inhale, all the way up. And now circles with your wrists. Let's see how it feels on the other side. Place your hands, push the mat away from you. Neutral back, and really lock your lower back and use a little bit of your core muscles to hold it. Left leg, kick yourself, and then lift up. No movement in the lower back, just keep it. And then lift up, turn it, out rotation. Keep your pelvis square and then back to the middle. I'm so sorry, my body, because I've been exploring and planning and testing for this workshop all week. So yeah, this is not comfortable, but I'm with you. Okay, sit back, do a swipe. And again, maybe some circles, or just shake it out, do another swipe. To also wake up the shoulders a little bit and just open up. So sit back and have a watch again. The thing is that when we do cat-cow in yoga, we're gonna do like this and this. What happens in the hip then is that you go from neutral, and when you pull it forward, you round your back, and then you put it back. So this is how the hip is going in cat-cow. So notice that now. We think very much about the heart and spine in cat-cow, but notice, what are your hips actually doing? So back to all four. On your next inhale, drop down your heart, move it a bit forward, and then notice, how are your pelvis now? And then start down in your hips to round, move it forward, up through the whole spine, push the mat away. So this is to wake up the spine, of course. Next inhale, drop your heart down again. So let the movement of the exhale start very deep down in your hips and all the way back. And now the heart is leading. And then the last thing is the hips or the pelvis that tilts. And then just sit back. So now we're gonna be a bit more active. Downward facing dog. If you haven't done it before, have a look. So I go from all four, lift up my knees, and then move just back. So I try to get a line from my hands and all the way up to my sit bones. I can have my legs bent, my heels lift, or heels in the mat and stretch legs. But the back is most important here. Then one time, just push the mat away from you so your shoulders elevate up towards your ears, and then melt the shoulder blades a little bit back into the back and out to the sides. Then you can feel that more of the muscles in the back can take over, so it's not so heavy for your shoulders. And from here, knees down, sit back. I'm going to show you one more thing. When I say three-legged dog or lift your right leg, then I mean, you can see my hips now, they are square. So this is a three-legged dog. I'm lifting with my glutes, my leg. If I say open the hip, then I mean like this, and then you can turn the knee. Now it's easy to just like tip over, so then really balance your hands. Okay, so go with me. Downward facing dog. And then we try this. So inhale, lift your right leg towards the ceiling. Right hip is still parallel with the left hip. Then open. So it's like putting the hip on top of the hip. So right hip on top of the left. And then bring your foot back, knees down, and then back again. So instead of staying in these positions like in a normal yoga class, you will stay forever and you're just like, oh, then just take poses in between. Shake it out, do some circles, do whatever you need in between. Back to downward facing dog. Then left leg back and up. So turn your left thigh in so your hip are on the same level as the right one. And then bend your leg, open the hip. So put your left hip on top of your right hip. So this is an open hip. And then back and take your dog for a walk. Walk all the way to the top of the mat. Grab the opposite elbow and just hang out your neck, your shoulders in a forward fold. Here you can also bend the legs as much as you want. You can shake a little bit, yes, no, go from side to side. And take some really deep breaths. And just prepare your mind that now we're going to start flowing. Really ground down your feet and push them down into the mat to roll up like a nice scale all the way up to your Tadasana, the mountain pose. So we're going to go into the sun salutations, and it's the global yoga sun salutation, and I will put a lot of yummy stuff into that. And of course, if you feel that something doesn't feel good in your body, find some other solution. Use your blankets, your blocks, cushions, whatever, or just do something else. So just sit and breathe. So feel free, because I'm gonna be a bit pushy now. But if you're into that, then welcome to join me, or of course also add something if you want more. Hip distance apart, start with the swipe. Inhale, create space, length. Exhale, roll down to a forward fold. Lean over in left foot, right foot, big step back. Put down your right knee and foot. Inhale, swipe until shoulders are above the hips. And now to feminine lunge. So come deep down here. Take a breath. And then hands into the mat. Come back to the runner's lunge. So try to keep that upright position, lift your heart, and maybe it looks very different in your body. That's fine. It doesn't have to look a special way. Move forward again to the feminine lunge to get the stretch here. Another swipe. Place hands into the mat, downward facing dog. So move your feet back and find your downward facing dog. Next, inhale, lift your heels, roll through your body all the way to a plank position and adjust if you didn't have the right distance. Of course, you can put your knees down. Yes, always. And you can go up on your fists if that feels better for your hands. And now lower down to the mat in a narrow push-up, but push down. So come all the way down. Roll your shoulders back, lift your heart forward. Now, really feel that your shoulder blades are moving together and down into the back. Maybe lift off your fingers. Oh yeah, there you can feel your backside. Put the legs together, push the toes down into the mat and use your glutes and core muscles, so navel towards the spine. Exhale, come down. Downward facing dog. Back to downward facing dog. Big inhale through the nose and now exhale through the mouth. Oh yes, now we're starting. Inhale, three-legged dog on the right side, so right leg towards the ceiling. Exhale, again to a plank position, but bring your right knee with you. Place your foot between your hands. If you can't come all the way, just grab it, lift it, and help it. Okay, down with the left knee. Now, inhale, power. Exhale to forward fold. Out through the bow. Inhale all the way up. That was the first round on the right side. Straight down to forward fold again. Now, left foot, big step back. Left knee down, left foot down. Inhale, swipe, and sink deep down into your feminine lounge. But see if you can avoid to collapse, just hang down here. So use a little bit of the muscles of the pelvic floor and lower core muscles to actually kind of feel that you're lifting up. And at the same time, you're moving down, but with a bit of more control instead. So not like collapsing and just hanging in the joints. So find that support. And from here, hands in the mat, come to runner's lounge. So a little bit of the backside. And of course, the hips are so connected to the legs. It's connected to the back. It's connected to everything. Then come back, do a swipe, open, hands in the mat, downward facing dog. Take a couple of breaths here. And next inhale, lift off your heels, roll through the body to your variation of the plank position. And if you're in the full plank here, really use your glutes. Use your glutes to find a strong position and not hang it out in the lower back or something like that. Okay, all the way down into the mat, roll your shoulders back and find the length. Legs together, push them down, use the glutes to lift the backside. Get now contact with the whole backside of the body. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, maybe lift up your hands 1 centimeter and relax your face. Breathe, smile. Ooh, it's nice with morning yoga. Okay, down, back, downward facing dog. And now the downward facing dog starts to feel like an active resting position. That's what it's meant to be. Next, inhale, left leg back and up. Bring it with you to a plank position, knee in, push the mat away, use your core muscles, lift, 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 and then place it down. Right knee down. Inhale, power. Exhale to forward fold through the mouth. Inhale all the way up, ribs away from the hips and down. I'm gonna add a little soft back bend on this because then your hips should be really engaged in that. So really activate your legs, but you can have a little bit of soft knees and then move your hip forward. Really use your glutes. So activate, lift, 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 bring your hands all the way up. Find the length, 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 and then use your glutes, hip forward, use your core muscles, and then you can see if you can add a little bit of a back bend. Come back, hands to heart. Take one breath here. Okay, next round, let's add some more of the hip stretches and some hip strength training as well. Inhale, swipe. Exhale. Come down to forward fold, right leg, big step back. Bring your knee down, foot down. Inhale, swipe. And find that support, but find your way down. Push down your legs to feel that you can lift up. Now walk your left foot, so your heel is on the mat, your toes are pointing 45 degrees out. Here you can either stay up here, you can even lift away your knee if you want that. You can try different variations. If you have a lot of space in your hip, you can come down here. You can use your blocks. You can come even lower down. I like to stretch out the same arm as leg here to get a little stretch on around the backside of my armpit. Here you can also see if you can actually go to the outside of the foot here to find some more space. And you can see if you want to move around circles from side to side. Maybe go up on your fists here as well to protect your wrist a little bit more, and really push away and feel like the energy is coming from your hips. They are helping, but also melting. Okay, from here, move your feet back in. No, sorry. Leave it there. Now, right hand just outside the mat and lean over. So you can see that your hand and shoulder is aligned. Now you can look back over your left shoulder. See if you can bend your leg. Hello. You can wave to it. You can use a strap, or maybe you can grab it. Roll your left shoulder back, open up. Use your core muscles here. Lift your hip a bit up and then find some support before you then melt it down to deepen. And you're opening, you're lowering at the same time, but without just like collapsing down. So find some ease, but activity in it. It's more healthy way to do these poses. Next, exhale, just release, come back. And then you can move back in. Okay, let's move up to a lounge position. And from here, come all the way up. Inhale, open. So this is a lounge, like on a rail track. Deep down here, knee above ankle, really stretch out that back leg, lift the heel. And now you're gonna jump and in. We're gonna do it again. Go down, up, lift, and in. Same leg, one more time. Maybe you can hold your hands on the hip or use them for balance or hold in a chair or whatever. Go down again, kick. That's your glutes working. Come down, kick. And now you will also feel it on the left side. So this is very efficient. And yes, you will not find this in a yoga book, but I don't care because I want you to have strong glutes and happy hips. So you will get happy lower back, upper back, shoulders, knees, everything. Okay, I think this is number 7. I forgot to count. We're gonna do 3 more. So do it your way. And try to keep that upright position. Use your core muscles. And now you're hopefully starting to feel it. I feel it a lot. Last one. And then we're just here again. And that's fine. Okay, so other side. Inhale, swipe. Exhale, roll down. Left leg, big step back. Knee down, foot down. Inhale, swipe. And now again, move your feet, your right foot out, pointing 45 degrees. You can stay up here, or you can lift off your knee if you want like more power into it. Or you can come lower down. So find your variation on this side. And you can change as well. You can do a little bit down and you can come back up. So find your variation. As long as you can breathe, because if you're holding your breath, then you're going too far. So then you need to back off. So make sure that you can keep a relaxed face, relaxed jaw. And it's nice sometimes to be in this uncomfortable, to practice that, because that's also sometimes the same feeling we get if we go into an audition or doing something like that. And then we can practice that on the yoga mat to find ease in that maybe a little bit uncomfortable position. Left hand outside the mat if you want. Lean over, make sure your shoulder are just above your hand. And then take a look over your right shoulder, bend your leg, say hello to it, maybe grab it, and then move your hips a little bit back so you're sure that you find some connection there. And then you can sink deep down without collapsing, maybe to the outside of the right foot. You can move around. Use your core muscles now, navel towards the spine to protect your lower back. And really, that's why you don't want to collapse as well. You want to keep your glutes activated here to protect your lower back. Okay, let go of your hand, move it forward, move your foot back up to a lounge position first. Inhale, swipe. And just build up your lunge, really stretch that back leg, find that stability. So you're using the muscle from your pelvic floor to lift up and you're squeezing towards the midline with your core muscles. And if you have that stability around the hip, then you can be more free in the upper body to breathe, to play, hold your instrument, whatever you need. Okay, so just prepare. We're gonna jump up now. So up to standing first. And then lower your left knee down, kick back, and keep going. That was 1. I'm gonna count now. 2. So go with me, go slower if you need, go faster if you want, add a jump or a handstand or whatever. Just be creative. And now I forgot to count again, but I think this is 5, 6. And if you have the recording, you can always stop this and you can take hundreds of this. This is 8, 7. I have more potential when it comes to counting, that's for sure. I think we will do 2 more. And if you are counting, just go with your own counting, it's better. Okay, we're here again. Just shake it out. Nice work, people. I can see you here in my computer. Yes, that was a little bit work of the glutes. Now, the front side is going to work. Put your feet together. Toes are together. Heels can be a little bit out. And then sit deep down. Now you want to be able to see your toes. So you need to back until you see your toes and then sit deep down. Sit deep down and without taking out the movement in your lower back. So have a nice position here. And now you're using your legs. I hope you can feel that. Of course, if you want it super powerful, you can rise your arms up together, or broader is milder for your shoulders. You can have your hands to heart or whatever fancy you want to do with your hands. And yes, we're starting to feel it now. Stay in the uncomfortable. When life is hard, that's when we need to breathe deep. So find ease in this. Just think about relaxing your face, your jaw, your heart, big breaths. And then next exhale, move. So you're rotating, landing your left elbow on your right knee. Here we can make a fist with your left hand and put the right hand on top. This is milder for your wrists. And then really push down so you can rotate even more. Lift up, lift that right shoulder back. And yes, I also feel it in my legs. It's not dangerous. Have a look down at your knees. It's so easy now that the left wanna move forward. Keep them on the same line. Is she never gonna stop talking and get us out of this? Nothing lasts forever, that's for sure. So come back up and shake it off. Nice work. Can you feel the front side of your legs? I hope you find some connection there now. Okay, other side, which means we're gonna sit down again. So sit down, move back. Make sure to keep that nice position. It's your glutes and a lot of the front here that's working now. Choose a position for your hands. And we're going to go earlier into the rotation this time. So to the left side, make a fist if you want, and then push down to be able to rotate. Left shoulder. Want to move back, back, back. See if you can get a long neck, relaxed face. Look down on your knees. Put them online. In line, maybe online. We are online. Okay, keep breathing. And then relax, shake it out. If you were out running or something yesterday, you might feel it now. I feel it a lot. Nice work, people. Okay, let's move on. We have so much more time. I promise there will be a nice relaxation and stretch in the end, but a little bit more work first. So now, come down again. Utkatasana. Rotate to the right. This time, really lean over in your right foot so you can take a big step back with your left. Oh yes, you need some balance here. So now you're in a high lunge in the same rotation. You can also make a fist here, so pick a choice. And from here, come to a warrior two. So I'm gonna turn so you can see me. Parallel with the back of the mat, pointing forward, knee above ankle. Strong legs, so push down the mat, lift up, proud position, and notice now my hip is what I would call open. Shoulders a little bit down, relax, and then bring your arms up, then the shoulder blades also rise a little bit. So create space in the back here, maybe deeper down. Look forward. Turn your front hand, keep your legs in the same position, just tip back, grab the back side of your head, feel that connection with your right side. Come back to warrior two. Stretch your front leg. Maybe you want to shorten the position a little bit. We're going into Trikonasana. So now move your hip back, back, back. Stretch out, stretch out, stretch out. And then find somewhere at your leg or lower down where you can hold. You can also use a block here. If you're hypermobile, make sure to not hang in your knee, but bend this a little bit. Then you will, it's more efficient because then you use some muscles as well. Okay, so Trikonasana, the triangle pose. It's like you have a wall behind you. You want to have that flat, long, nice back. And keep breathing. And from here, bend your front leg back up to warrior two. Okay, now to the side angle. So move your elbow down here, and you want a long line from the back foot all the way up here. And now push down your elbow to lift here. You can take a test. Maybe you can lift your arm, maybe here. That requires quite a lot of core muscles. And use your legs, use your hips. That's your energy center. So use your energy from there. Okay, come back, lean in. And for some of you with a lot of flexibility in the hips, follow me. Then left hand behind you, right hand down, in, under. Now I'm going to show it the other way. In, under, and then either with a strap, you can have a strap in this hand or a sock or a t-shirt or whatever, and maybe you can bind. If you bind, then when you have find the bound, then shoulder blades back. So you want to go to that position again when you really opens up in the chest. Okay, release. Come to downward facing dog. Ah, now that feels nice again. Next inhale, lift off your heels, bend your knees, look forward, and maybe a little very silent jump to the front of the mat, or just walk. Feet together, back into Utkatasana, or chair pose, it's also called. Come back up, hands to heart. Ooh, nice work. Just take a couple of breaths here. Oh. And now, how is your mind going? Now you know that you have another side of this sequence. So just decide. Just don't think about if you like it or not. Just one step at a time. Just listen to my voice and just do it. And think about maybe a song, maybe a person, a place that gives you power, gives you energy. And when you feel in some position like that, oh, I'm dying, that's not a helpful thought. So then think about whatever, or sing that song, or think about that personal place that really lifts you up. Okay, let's get ready. So sit down into your chair pose again, the Utkatasana. Move your rotation to your left side. Now lean over in your left foot so you can release your right one. And then put it back, molto grazioso, down. And go into the twist here. Really stretch that back leg. And how is it going with your hips? Can you feel the power from your hips helping you to rise up in the position, to create even more space? And from here, where did we go? We went to warrior two. Yay! So come back up to warrior two. Now left leg is pointing forward. Come deep down and really feel that support from your midline that helps you strong legs deep down, and then helps your energy to lift. Arms out. See if you want to go deeper down or maybe back off. You always have an option. Almost always. Turn your front hand, tip back. The reversed warrior, or sun warrior is a nicer name of this one, I think. Feel the connection with your whole left side. And your strong legs. So again, don't collapse back, but think about the length. Use your muscles to find the length, and then you can lean backwards, back to warrior two. We're going into a triangle pose. Straight leg, or almost straight leg. Maybe shorten the step a little bit. Right hip. Now, back. Tip forward. Find the length here. Imagine that you want the same length on the left side now, like on the right side. Just try to find that length. And then you land down somewhere and turn up. So now it's like the hip, right hip on top of the left hip, right shoulder on top of the right shoulder. No, left shoulder, sorry. That's too hard. And then breathe, relax your face, find some ease here. And you can of course bend your front leg more if you feel it's too much in your hamstrings. That's not interesting. So keep it interesting for you, not too much, not too little. And from here, bend your front leg back up to warrior two. We're going into the Parsva Konasana, the side angle. Elbow down, find that line again. So push down the outside of your back leg, find the line all the way up. Maybe you want to go deeper down. So how much power do you have today? How much do you want to go into this? So create space, push away. See if you want to take that test again. Now this is totally a full body. It's not just the legs working, it's all of you. And can you do this and find some ease? Relax your face, enjoy, or just think about that song or person that can really just like lift you up. Okay, come back down. So either stay here or come with me with the bind. So now right hand behind your back, and you need to have the strap or sock or whatever in this hand to make this possible. And then see if you can find your hand or your sock or whatever here, and then rotate up, lift your right shoulder back, back, back. Relax your neck. You don't have to look up or any way, just look wherever your neck wants to. So keep it soft in the neck, the face, the jaw, and then release and come to, I think we went to downward facing dog. So come to downward facing dog. Take a deep breath. Next inhale, lift off your heels. And this time, jump to Malasana. And then jump back again. Jump to Malasana. And back again. So really use your muscles and look forward. And see if you can be a bit of like weightless in between there. So try to get your shoulders above your hands again. That's more gentle to your body. Okay, then come all the way up. And just shake it out. Nice work. How are you doing? I'm gonna have a look here. Are you okay? Are you okay, guys? Yeah, thumbs up. Great. Whew, I hope you're a bit sweaty. I am. Yes, so we have time for a little bit more. Okay. Lean over in your left foot. Bring your right knee up. You can also leave the toes in the ground. So find your level. So hug your knee. And then your right knee, you want to place it in the mat outside your left knee, which means that you need to bend your left knee, and I can't go all the way down. Maybe you can. Congratulations. Then come back up. Oh yes, I feel that as well. The outside of the leg is working. Do it 2 more times. So mindful, breathe, find some ease, find your song again, or person, or place. So just move your thoughts to something helpful instead of I'm dying. Back up and just shake it out. Let's do the same thing on the other side. Bring your left knee up. And here, to find the balance, you need to squeeze in towards the midline to find your support and stability. And then left leg behind. And imagine that, yes, I'm gonna dip it down there. And you might have much stronger legs than me and more flexibility. So maybe you can do it. Then you have to send me a video later. I want to see that. Okay, so last time now. So really bend. And now all the outside here is working. Come back up. Nice work. Shake it out. And yes, of course, this is like normal strength training. But when we're doing it with this presence, with this breathing, and this mindful, I call it yoga. This is yoga for musicians. Let's see what happens if we go into a balancing pose and take this help from the stability around the hips. So right leg now for you. Really ground it down, activate, and then squeeze towards the midline, find your stability. And now see if you can move your left leg a bit out. Now also the outside is working. Oh yes. Hands up, and then you're all stars. So just move into a star position. And how is it going with the breathing? Relax your face. Yes, feel that shaky right leg that's trying to balance, compensate. And it's so hard when you go out of your midline. So really try to use your core, use your glutes here. So now really squeeze your glutes. Maybe it's a bit easier. And then if you want, you can stay here, you can take a pause, you can come back. Or if you want to tip this down to a half moon position. But then you need to move your leg, pointing forward, or to, no, this was just messy. Sorry, drop that. Let's do that later. Shake it out. We do the other side first. Okay, ground down your left foot, build it up, find the midline and the support, find your glutes. So now, glutes. And then lift your right leg, and then your arms first all the way up, and then use your glutes, use your core muscles, use everything to keep you stable, and then go to your star, out of your midline. Can you lift your leg a little bit higher? Can you move a little bit more out? Can you find more stability? Can you really push down your left leg? And can you breathe and relax your face? And this won't last forever, because now it's over. Well done. Shake it out. Okay, let's skip that half moon. We save that for the hip Maestoso 3.0 instead. This is 2.0. Okay, so Malasana, the deep squat. Mat distance apart, feet pointing 45 degrees out. And now sit down as deep as you can. For some people, it might be enough with this. And then come back up again. Oh yes, we're gonna do some squats. Come down, come back up. Use your glutes, hips forward. Come down. Now your legs are working. Now your glutes, hips forward, down again. Come back up and do it mindful with your breathing. And then we say, yes, this is yoga. This is mobility for your hips. It's strength training for your glutes. And it's mindfulness. Come back down. And yes, I'm also sweaty and it's hard to talk. And 2 more. So really mindful, really use your glutes when you come up. Like here, now is this working, and then the glutes lift you all the way up. Then we're gonna need the towel or the blanket or a cushion now. And I hope you have some wall space. I forgot to tell you that. I put my soft thing close to the wall. I have my shoulder close to the wall. Then I go down on my knee. We're gonna do a stretch for the front side now. I move my other leg out. So now I'm in this position. And then I turn my leg here up against the wall. You might even take like a sweater or something here if it hurts. So now I'm really close to the wall, and you can be down here. Maybe this is just like way enough for you. Or you can come up here. And if you watch now, you can see my heel is just outside here. It can be a little bit outside. And then I see if I can move closer to the wall. Maybe I can tilt my hip a little bit. And then I really can feel that muscle. And then I start to breathe to that muscle. So if you're running and maybe you do this stretch just like holding the leg, this is even more like mindful and also maybe a bit more efficient. You can move this foot leg longer out if you need that for balance. And see if you can maybe move your butt all the way back. Or that can be a goal for 2021 or 2024, who knows? One step at a time. So just breathe, breathe, breathe. And you know, like here, just like one little more millimeter, it's just like, whoa. So I hope you can feel that one. And then we're going out of it the same way. So move forward, bring your hip away from the wall, then turn down, and then come all the way up and walk to the other side. Close to the wall, knee down, my foot pointing the other direction. And then I move my hip away from the wall to be able to turn my foot up. I see, so I can watch my heel here on the outside. And then I start to find my way up, find the balance, find my breath again. And this side is so much tighter for me. So this side needs a little bit more of attention, a little bit more love, a little bit more of a gentle stretch. So be nice to your body. Never push your body into something it's not ready for. That's when you can damage it. And now you don't need to use like these muscles or squeeze or whatever. Just, now we're just trying to melt. So we are over in more stretches now. So now it's calmer. So we're trying to calm down the system, but the muscles are really warm now. And yeah, then it feels nice to stretch them as well. Relax your face, your jaw. See if you want to move 1 millimeter or maybe tilt your pelvis a little bit more. Because after a while in the same stretch, then you can probably go a little bit deeper into it and make sure that you have something really nice under your knee, because this should not hurt in your knee. Then you just need more cushions. So take one more breath here. And this stretch is also so good for all this sitting that we're doing, to stretch open on the front side. So now we've been building strength in the glutes and the back side, and we're opening on the front side. Exhale, move back away from the wall, turn. And then you can come down and keep your towel or blanket or cushion close to you. Now we're going for a deer pose. So I put, there is 90 degrees. And this one is also 90 degrees. I hope you can see it. I can show it this way as well. So 90 degrees, 90 degrees. If this is way too much for your hips, then a little bit more gentle angle. Here you can also use something in under. This might be very helpful. So play around with that to find a position that it feels interesting for you to be. So not too much, not too little, but just interesting. So see if you can keep some nice upright position here. If you want, you can rotate towards the right side. A couple of breaths here. Move back to the middle, and just to have some fun with this, see if you can lift the front leg now. Lift, lift, lift. Just to feel that hip working. And release it down. What about the back leg? Can you lift that up without helping? lift, 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 lift. Just a little bit more of strength training and connection here. And down. And now, without using your hands, bring your foot a little bit more in. And then you're going to an active pigeon pose without using your hands. So put your leg back here, toes in the mat. You can lift off your knee here and try to see if you can find the balance. Here you can also put something in under if you need. So this is a pigeon pose where you really use the muscles, really lift and engage your muscles. And then see if you can go a little bit more back, flat out the foot, and then you can melt down if you want. You can have blocks, cushion, whatever you need under here. And come down to pigeon pose, or sleeping swan, that we call it in yin yoga. And you can play around with it. You can put cushions, like I said, in under. So don't overdo it. But just a nice little rest here. And a nice stretch on the glutes. So we stretch the front side, now we stretch more of the back side. And I know that some of you have this as a true favorite and want to stay here for 10 minutes, but you can do that after. Now use your hands to push yourself back up to a seated position. Bring your left leg forward into the same deer pose and right leg back, and use your core and your body to do that, not your hands. So try to find some kind of ease here, some elegance. This is a good position. It's like an out rotation and an in rotation at the same time. So it's good for the hip joints to also be stretched in all different directions. Like I've said in the shoulder workshops, that the shoulder wants to move. It's the same with the hips. And here, if you want to add the rotation, find the length up through the spine, through the neck, relax your face, and then rotate. And use all the props you need, or use a sharper angle if that feels better for you. But keep it interesting. And from here then, back to the pigeon pose. Kaputanasana is the name in Sanskrit. So get up here. And the king pigeon, then you would do like this and then grab your leg back there. Can also be a goal for 2021 or some other day or life. And now melt down to find your way down to the sleeping swan. Going from a pigeon to a sleeping swan. That sounds nice. Take a couple of really long breaths here and breathe to the area where you feel it the most. And move around a little bit if you need. And 100% is not very interesting. So if you're at 100%, back off a little bit so you have something to melt into. But after a couple of breaths, maybe your 90% is then your 80%. So then you can go a little bit deeper. But you just have to be present. You have to listen to your body, really feel the signals. And then you can't just think about everything else. So just always get back to your body and listen, listen, listen. Okay, come back up. And then I have some options for you. You can either, of course, always choose to just sit in a seated meditation. You can lie down in your Shavasana. I'm going to get a chair to show you another position that is really nice now that we have worked so much with the hips and the pelvis, and especially if you have had kids and had problems around the pelvis. This is very, very good. So then I just lie down. I put my legs up on a chair and then I lie like this. So for me, it takes some minutes before I can really relax my hips, and then I just like, ugh. So this is super relaxing. So if you want to try that, you can do that. Otherwise, I have another option. It's always good to do something also with the upper back and shoulders when you are working a lot with the hips. So you can take your towel or blanket and lie down on it. Shoulder blades on the upper side of it. So you get a little soft back pain here, long neck, and maybe you want to put your feet together, knees out in a butterfly pose for the legs. And you can take your Shavasana here. So now pick a choice or just try them all. And then after we finish, you can take 5 or 10 minutes in one of them. So pick your choice and make it really comfortable for you now. Be a diva. We have a few minutes to rest here. So no matter what position you have chosen, see if you can really let go of holding anything. So just see if you can relax as much as possible, really sink into the mat or floor or cushion or whatever you have in under you. And now it's also time to let go of that control of your breathing. So just keep it really automatic. So just let go. The breathing system is fantastic. It's going to take care of it for you. So there's actually nothing more to do. Now you're just going to be. Just going to be. Maybe you can put your hands on your hips again. No matter what position you are in, I think that is possible for you now. So put your hands on your hips and take one big inhale down to your hips. And then sigh it out through the mouth. And again, let the breath just be automatic. And it's also so much feelings, frustration, everything that get kind of stuck in the hips. We're holding on to so much in the hips. And that's why it's really nice to do what we now have done. But be aware that there might be old stuck feelings that now are released. And maybe you suddenly get angry or cry or whatever. And then it's something that needed to get out and needed to pass. So just whatever reaction you feel, just let it get some space. Take a big inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. And in your own tempo, get back up to some kind of seated position. I'm sitting on my blanket here. It's nice to have something in under the hips to elevate a little bit. And you can just keep your eyes closed. And feel, how does it feel in your body? Maybe you feel more connected to your body. Maybe you feel warmer around the hips. Maybe the blood is flowing and getting to new places where it was a little bit stuck. Maybe you feel tired in some of the muscles. And hopefully after this, when all your systems have processed what it's been through, you will get a little bit stronger glutes, stronger legs, and maybe be a bit more aware of your position of the hip and how you activate it. And that can give you more support, a happier lower back, happier knees and shoulders. And I hope that you feel alive after this and you get some energy as well. Hands together in front of your heart and know that all the strength you need It's there already. Just bring it out and be more you. Namaste. So thank you so much for joining this workshop or buying the recording. And I hope it feels well. And remember that you can do it again and again. And you can add something, you can pause it, do it again. Yeah, so use it your way. And then I want to tell you, I also put in an extra workshop on the 7th of March, no, April, sorry, 7th of April, the calm Bispicliando. So it's yin yoga, it's seated, lying down positions, breathing, meditation, just such a nice pose for your brain and for your body. So you can find tickets for that on my website. And the next monthly workshop will be the advanced ambitus, where we're going to go into a bit more advanced positions and how you can, like a bridge or a wheel pose, full wheel pose, and how you can make it a bit more gentle on your wrists. And yeah, so it's again advanced, but for musicians and for everyone that wants to kind of stretch the limits a little bit to see, yeah, that wants a challenge. So we will go a bit deeper and higher and everything like that. But of course, as always, there will be possible to adjust, and you can always find your level. So welcome to join that as well. So I wish you a wonderful day, and I will take some questions and a little chat with the people that are in the live. But for the recording people, yeah, have a nice day and a nice practice, and I hope it feels amazing. Bye.